folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael in the Backyard, brought to you by RMD Creations. I hope you've tuned in. See, I've got a bunch of new subscribers. Do appreciate you folks subscribing, and it might be some people migrating over from the RMD Creations channel. Much appreciated. Well, today, let me get you off the stand here for a second. Got a couple things going on here. I just picked up, I just got it freshly delivered, my GoPro. I don't know why I did that. My GoPro Hero 12, which has Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth's nothing new, but it is brand new to the GoPro line of cameras. So we're trying out the new camera. It's supposed to have a longer battery life. As you can see, I got my AirPods in because it's supposed to be Bluetooth to my AirPods, so I don't have to wear the mic. I can wear my earbuds, and I still got the pass-through, so I can still hear things. And can you guys hear this? The cricket in the back of the shop. So when it's really quiet, it can go crickets. But I don't know if you can hear it from here, if it's noise canceling. I have no idea. But as you can see, today, my shop is an absolute disaster. Why have I got a coat, a tarp, life preservers, and a t-shirt on there? It might as well be an exercise bike. It's an engine stand. But here's what I don't like. I did put pneumatic wheels on it originally, thinking, oh, that'll be nice, it'll roll nice, it'll do all kinds of nice. It does not. With 420 pounds of Mercruiser was it a 120 horse engine on it, it doesn't like it. Even when the tires are aired up, even when the tires are aired up really hard, it still doesn't roll friendly. And it's, let's just say it. Right now that life preserver is as tall as I am where it's sitting, and just say it's a little top heavy. So I did a little, as you saw in a previous video, I built this guy for my outdrives. And you can see back there, I've got my old one that has 5 of them on it, really nice and tight, almost overlapping one another, where this one has a little more space on it. Well, we're gonna build some more stuff this morning. The goal this morning in this video is we're gonna see if the battery on this camera lasts 2 hours, up to 2 hours. Well, up to 2 hours can be from anywhere from 5 minutes up to 2 hours, and you can still make that claim, right? If it lasted 2 hours one time. I don't know how they'd measure that, how they control that. It's not a government entity. So we're gonna build an engine. We're gonna start off building my typical engine stand for like this one here for my 120s. I also got an engine stand that I build, let's just call it, for my 165 inline 6s. And if I ever had any V8s, I would build a V8 one too. I did pick up some casters. Don't go too small on your casters. Now, this is about as small as I want to go. Because I want this to still roll with ease. This one's supposed to be rated at, and they feel like pretty decent casters. They're not ball bearing, but they have a 250 pound, 3.5 inch medium duty caster. And again, this don't roll around the shop all day long. I'm not pulling these around the factory or anything. I just want to make a mobile. So that's 1,000 pounds to carry my 420 pounds worth of engine. Should work. Now I do have some cracks in the floor which can make things a little more difficult, but everything you see right now, other than my saw back there, and it has 2 wheels back there so I can pick it up and move it too, but I like to have everything on wheels. Now the one thing I can't have on wheels is my tire changing station. We're going to change a couple tires this morning because I got a boat out there that had a blown out tire. I've got my tires have shown up now. We're going to install those, get those back on the boat. And there's just going to be, let's just say you're going to follow me along through some activities today, and maybe some of the things you see me do will inspire you to do something similar, or it's like, that's what I can do with that project. That's what this channel is all about, is inspiring people to get up, get out, do some things. There again, I've preached it for a while now. Do an hour a day on your project, and at the end of year, there's 365 hours done toward that project. So I'm easily top that 1 hour off every day. And the days that I don't get an hour done, the next day I get 2 hours done. Or like today, it's Friday, I've got the day off, and I've created a 3-day weekend for myself. There are no other plans but for me to get projects done. So this weekend is going to be, let's just minimum, if I work only 8-hour days, it's 24 hours is going to get done this weekend, which is awesome. Let's be honest, it's probably going to be more like 35 to 40 hours this weekend, because I will work from 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night, and then do it all over again. And not all the work is out here or outside. There's a lot of work involved with doing a YouTube channel that involves editing, posting, and all that kind of fun stuff. So without further ado, first project. This is an engine stand that I had built a while back before I started building engine stands from outboards that look like this. Which you can see the amount of square footage this takes up, front to back, side to side, left to right, up and down, compared to this. Well, I had this engine and this engine that I affectionately call Frankenstein. There's some videos on that from about 1.5 years ago, but it's actually going to go on a boat here in a few weeks, and we're going to test it out. But I put a John Deere lawnmower engine on a Suzuki outdrive, or Suzuki bottom end. But we're going to turn this now. As you know, if you've been following for a minute here on this channel, reuse, recycle as much as I can, because I'm not cheap, but also don't like to waste money. And but also I like to, I don't know, it's one of these things that some of you get it, some of you don't. It's like, how can you have all this junk laying around? Well, to me, it's not junk. To me, these are treasures. These are all opportunities for me to work on stuff, do stuff, tinker, get bored with one thing, work on another thing. I like to have multiple options, because you wake up every morning or every day and go, what am I in the mood to do today? Well, today I'm in the mood to clean up my shop. And in order to clean up my shop, I'm going to have to do several projects. We're going to take this particular stand that this engine's on, after I take the engine off of it and put it on a stand like this one, and I'm going to put a tabletop on it. I've got a stainless tabletop out there and lean-to that's been leaning out there for a while. And it's a lot lighter, obviously, than that engine, so it'll make this thing here will make a perfect workbench that is on heavy-duty wheels, so to speak-ish. But I can move around, and those pneumatic wheels I can move around in the yard. So if I want to take it from the shop out to a location in my yard and have a bench out in the yard, that's what I'm going to do. That's what that's going to be for. So I'm excited to get that accomplished today. Like I said, we're going to do a couple tires changes. Then we're going to rearrange the furniture in here to make it more things accessible and more room to work. Alright, there it is, folks, in all of its pieces, tore down, ready for me to look at all the screws. What was I afraid of? Now, granted, I had close to 250 pounds on that engine stand in total, but my goodness, that was a lot of screws. Definitely going to be enough screws to finish this project and probably support another one. So, let's get started on what it takes to make one of those engine stands. First thing I need is 12.5 inches wide is the motor mount. 12 inches on one end, 11.5 on the one end. I'm going to make them both 12.5 for spacing. Length of the engine. So the length, 28 inches seems to be my number. I'm going to find two of my best boards because they're going to be solo, flying solo. I think this is a good one for the most part. And this one's not too bad. Alright, we got all our boards cut. And we're 48 minutes into this recording. Obviously, you haven't watched 48 minutes worth of video because that would have been very boring for you. But the cool part is the battery is at 57% after 48 minutes on this GoPro, so I'm kind of pleased about that. Can't be hating on that. Well, I've been doing so many things on that small workbench of mine. That little, there's my solvent tank. Let's be honest. That it's kind of nice to have this kind of space to be able to lay an entire thing on it and have tools and stuff on here too. So this weld bench, as it were, has been a much needed thing. And as the more I've thought about it, I'm like, why is this so handy? Well, just like in, let's relate it to some kitchen things. You know, you see those kitchens that have these islands in the kitchen. It's because it's a big workspace, and this isn't a big workspace by any stretch, but it just offers up so many. It's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It just gives you some space, some spread. That's what we're talking. We got some spread here. Now, the reason I put this together this way and not flip it the other way, there is no good reason other than when the engine is on here, the weight is on these boards here, and then the caster's on the directly opposite side on these boards as well. These boards are just to tie it together and keep it from doing this. Could I do this out of just a 2x2, 2x4, 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 2x4? Yes. I like to use a 2x6 here, but I didn't have any, so I'm just using what I've got. We're going to reuse all these screws that we just took out. Because anything else would be wasteful. 1/2 inches, I hope. Bam. Alright, there you have it. One easy rolling cart ready to set an engine on it. We're not worried about all these little splinters and stuff. Those will end up in your hand. Don't worry about that. You guys gonna think I'm crazy, but one of the best things I did to this engine hoist is I put a set of 5-inch casters on it. And my gosh, it makes things easy to move around now. The trick is gonna be, yeah, I can sneak it right back in there. It's perfect. Now, you guys see how easy that rolls now? I've actually don't even have it rolled on the casters that are on the end of the stand that's there. There it is. Nice and neat and tidy. We've got those two engines stacked away and just barely a little more space than that thing took up. So that's good. We're cubing out our space really nice. Now, on to the next project. First, we got to finish cleaning up this project because I got a bunch of screws. Check out all the wood screws I gained back. Ow, that's sharp right there, right in the finger. So I got to put all these away. I put this hardware away. I'll put these two 4x4s on my 4x4 pile. And the rest of it's kind of split and tattered and, you know, had a good run. And then we'll put these casters away. We'll use those for probably another plant stand. My wife likes her plant stands for sure. And I like them to be mobile, just like I like having everything in the shop mobile. So, well, let's clean this mess up, and then we'll move on to the next project. All right, folks, let's try project number 2. So the battery did last almost 2 hours, and that's without the back screen and the front screen on this GoPro, which is kind of interesting. So, you know, you guys are discovering the value and the decentness of the new GoPro Hero 12. Some of you might be wanting to do some videoing yourself. It's a good camera so far. I was not satisfied with the AirPods that I was using. Now, they're a couple of generations behind what's currently out there. Maybe the brand new ones work much better. My son has a set of brand new ones. Maybe next time he's here, we'll do some test recording with that. But since then, I shouldn't say since then, since part one, which is all in the same day still, I'm trying my Raycons. I've got a set of Raycons. You've probably seen other YouTubers being sponsored by them. Maybe someday I'll be big enough they'll consider me as a person they could sponsor one of my videos. But we're going to do project number 2. So project number 1, as I left there, it took us an hour and 40 minutes. You guys only got to experience 12 minutes of that. So let me know what you think of this style of editing. Let me know what you think of this, what I'm covering. This is just, there again, this channel is all about me in the backyard or the shop doing things that aren't necessarily boat related, because my other channel is more boat related stuff. So second project, let's get started. Now, we had the old green boat out there that had a flat tire. Let's say the tire was just blown out. Where would I find my, yep, let's get that over here. Yep. Here we go. So we got this rim with a blown out tire. Where is my plug-in? Right here. We're going to get this shop a little organized. That's what the project is today, is to clean up some loose ends. So I'm going to run the wire wheel around this bead because it's kind of got some rust and some dust and a few other things built up on it. So we'll go ahead and knock these wheel weights off of here. This valve stem doesn't appear to be in too bad a shape. Seems somewhat fresh, actually. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and just use it. Let's put this on the tire. Let me show you what I got. Oh, let's get some weight to it. So we got this. So we wire wheeled this all off the bead. We got the tires here. I got these off of Amazon. I bought some locally just recently as well. And I got these off Amazon. I was kind of curious about the date code on these, because you just never know. But if you guys don't know what the date code is, let me show you what it is here. There's probably not going to be enough light in here. Maybe there is. This is important. If you're ever working on tires or do anything with tires, see this right here? That says 23. It'll be a little oval like this, and it's going to have 4 numbers in it. This says 2323, which just means it was made in the 23rd week of the year and the year of 2023. So this is a brand new tire. If you're buying tires from somebody, used trailer tires, any tires from anywhere, don't be afraid to do the date code check, because people tell you that, oh, those tires are brand new. Well, they may look brand new, but if this date code is more than 10 years old, it's dangerous. Rubber fatigues, wears out, it gets old. I don't care if it's stored in a perfect condition. When it gets stored or it gets 10 years old, places will not touch them. The official car or tire stores and stuff will not mess around with tires that are more than 10 years old or 10 years old or older. It's a safety hazard for sure. So what we got here is some I picked up. These are some free country, because we live in a free country. ST 205 75R14s. And how many plies are these? I was thinking they were decent. Max load for a single tire, 2,000 pounds. So This will handle, 2 tires will handle 4,000 pounds at, let's see here, what we got? Whew, 65 PSI cold. Those are going to run some hard tires. These are radial, I believe. Maybe not. Load range. Nope. Trying to see what it says here. Thought it might have some more information. It does. I'm just trying to find it. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Mount. Only 14-inch rim. Approved for radial tires. Looking for the plies. They usually have that on here. Now, this is a trailer tire for trailer service only. Oh, here it is. What? Ply sidewall, 2 polyester tread, 2 polyester plus 2 steel, and 1 polyamide, polyamide, I don't know. There's enough plies. It says made in China. I'll see how long this chubber. That's what I call all the rubber made in China. It's called chubber. This has what's called scuff guard on it, which is must be an extra thick little. I mean, maybe it's just a little. I don't know. They call it scuff guard. So that's okay. When I drag it up over a curb, maybe it won't get scuffed. I don't know. The rim was actually in pretty good shape. It's pretty clean on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and put this on the old tire machine here. Now we're going to get you up good and close for the wrestling match here that's about to get underway. And I say wrestling match, it's not, I'm getting used to this thing. I've only mounted 2 tires currently on it. That's it. I've just mounted, at this point, I've just mounted 10 and I've mounted 2. So I'm trying to learn what that little duckbill piece on the end of the pry bar, what it does, how it works. I'm not 100% golden on that front yet. We'll get my bar tighten. Where did I put my bar? I'm still organizing stuff. Goodness. We'll give this a little snugging. I made that noise, not the metal. Fooled you, didn't I? All right, now we got to get my soapy water. This is right here. And I'm wondering if I should add a little more soap to it. Is it soapy enough? Are the tires just too firm? I don't know how slippery. Because when I do this, I mean, that feels like a slippery slip and slide for sure. So let's put her on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Does that yeah sound help? I don't know, but it feels like I'm working hard. I'm going to go ahead and use this pry bar in this manner to put that first bead. Nope. Get on there. Gonna slip it right on there. This seems to get by. Oh, let's get about so much here. Get on there. You know you want to get on there. But as you see, you get the first bead popped on really pretty easy. It's the second side that eludes me on how this thing works. Because you're supposed to have this around the rim, tire bead up here. So when you're around the rim, and something about like along those lines, right? And then you kind of hold this down, and then it pops out of place. I don't know. I'm still struggling and learning. I know there's some tire guys out there just laughing at the monkeys. What's on with the tire here? But yeah, I just can't seem to get this thing to do what I want it to do or how it's supposed to. I just don't know. Maybe I was holding it up too high. Got to keep this thing down. And then that acts like it's working for me here. If I can keep it from tilting. Maybe if I had more soap on the tire, is the tire trying to grab it for me? It wants to rotate. You know, we get this close. I'll figure it out one of these days. You know, 50 trailer tires later, I'll be a proficient. So maybe if this is a little slicker, it'll keep this thing from trying to roll out of my hand. Nope, nope. Quit it. See? Just rolls out of my hand. And then I resort back to the caveman tactics, you know? Or maybe I wasn't getting this down far enough. Let's try it again. I'm not gonna give up that easy. Now everything's slippery as crap. Holy crap. There. Let's see if I can get this possibly back in position somehow. And get this forward. It's like once you don't have it, you don't have it. And the only way you can get it on there is to start it in the right spot. Now, I have watched one guy that had showed how to modify this thing to make it much better to use. But I haven't. I will go there someday probably. Because you know me, I like to modify things. Okay, see what I did this time is I made sure the speed went down into the deeper part of the rim. So it gives me as much, ooh, that was working so far. Uh-oh. This actually might work. Hold the phone. I did it. I freaking did it. Yes, I am the master of my own universe. Oh, golly. Figured it out. Maybe a little bit. Well, this is the part I enjoy. Just start getting this bead to seat, you know. We can clippity-clip this on. Ba-bing! Well, that's going to pop loud. Wow, love it. Now we're going to go ahead and put 60 in here. Because that's what it says. Maybe I'll just run 55. Maybe I run 60. What's your guys' thoughts on that? That went a lot smoother. I think pushing it down and keep it inside that lower bead gives you the room and takes the pressure off that. Yeah. Now I'm excited to do the other one. Am I the only one that sees the irony in a trailer tire named Free Country, made in China? Yeah. One Free Country tire ready to go on my Free Country trailer, which truly isn't a free country, I guess. Yeah. What do we think? All right, that first part of this segment and this part of this segment of this project, I am using the Raycons, and the sound quality. You guys give me your feedback on what you think. The sound quality I thought was pretty good. I had put my headphones on and went and edited that first section, and just to check, because I don't want to do a whole 2 hours worth of work and then find out my sound is crap. So these things I think did pretty good. The eerie part about it, things you may have noticed, and I'm not trying to break the glass here. When the air compressor kicked on, it was deadened. The sound from the other stuff around me is deadened. And when I'm quiet, you don't hear any other noise. Now, in the earlier part of the segment, I had both channels, the camera mic and these on, and I can pick which sound channel I want to use, because this produces 2 sound bars. The air conditioner was running, and it was interesting because I could have when going from the GoPro mic, it picks up everything, all the sound. It's indiscriminate as to what it's going to do. Where the Raycons, I noticed when I switched to that sound bar, all the other backgrounds, including practically the cricket, disappeared, which I kind of like that. When I'm doing wire wheeling, I normally am having to, so you guys don't have the sound. I'm very picky, I guess, when it comes to, I try to make the music and the sound and the talking all the same level, so you're not sitting there rolling your volume up and down because I didn't do my job to modulate. I do my best on that. And but yeah, when I was using the wire wheel, I noticed the wire wheel was half as loud to a quarter as loud as me talking. So this, these things are designed more to pick up voice than it is to pick up just random noise, which is an improved sound. I'm digging on it, is what I'm saying. So let's get us back outside. Let's put this freshly mounted tire back on the trailer, and then we're going to go ahead and get this tire right here put on the other side, because if one tire is blown, the other tire is getting, typically they're the same age, and we'll take a look at it. And when I bring that tire in here, we break it down. We're going to date code that one and see what that date code is on there, just out of curiosity, to see how lucky I got dragging that boat home. Now, the good news is I only drug that boat home about 20 miles, but I have drugged boats home from 200 miles. And some of those things are kind of risky, because if a tire like that blows and you've got aluminum fenders like this trailer has, that thing can whip around, that steel belt can whip around and just roll that fender up into a knot. And then you got a real mess, because you were just putting a spare on, but now you got to get that fender out of the way. All right. We're going to do a couple things on this segment. I'm going to time myself from the time, where's my phone? Yep, over here. We're going to time it from the time I start taking the other wheel off. From the time I'm rolling the jack under it, not even jacked up yet. We're going to do it's not a NASCAR thing, but it's just going to be, I'm curious how long it's going to take me now that I'm getting a little more comfortable with the tire changer. What kind of timeline is it for me to jack it up, pop the tire off, come in here, break it down, put the new tire on, air it up, and get back out there, and I'm going to include all my camera Yep, I'm going to time with the camera. Why can't I talk right now? I'm going to time it, including the camera manipulation. Wow. And having to set it up and here and out there and all that stuff. So this should be fun. Let's, sometimes you got to make things something a game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that time on my board, my whiteboard behind you there. Turn around, you'll see it. Turn around. Yeah, we'll write it up there. And that way, I can, when I do another tire, I've got way too many trailers with tires. Of course, a trailer without a tire is just a platform. It doesn't move. So, but I want to see if I can get better learning every time I do this. I just did my 3rd tire, and I think I picked up on something that's really going to help me to do this next tire, and I think I can actually get a pretty good time. So And here I am. I'm walking out from here. I don't know. Let's just, when I get done with it, I'll tell you how it went. And you guys can see me do it. Let's do that. I need my impact and a socket. My jack's already out there. I can only carry so many things. Well, I picked a beautiful day to take the day off, I'll tell you that, because it is slightly overcast. It's not supposed to break 80 today. I think it's only supposed to be in the 70s, which is perfect weather. I love that weather. And I can come out here and do things and go inside and do things, and let's just say not necessarily just break a crazy sweat. So here's the green machine. Here's old Big Blue. Here's the green machine that we're doing the tire on. Well, good thing the DeWalt tools are tough because I tend to drop things. So this one has lug bolts instead of lug nuts, which I don't mind. I just noticed on this trailer, it's got 2 sets of eyelets here for leaf springs. So if a guy wanted to lower it for some reason, he could easily do that with this particular setup. This just keeps getting better and better. Now I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to mess with the bearings because I'm going to still, or mess with doing the bearings yet because I do have to do that. Am I up high enough now that I've got a fully, no way, fully inflated tire? Hit. No. 2, 4, go. I don't know what kind of count that was. A little higher. A little higher. Okay, maybe I can make it now. There we go. Now we'll put a little never sees on each one of these lug bolts. Well, those things thread in so nice when you got fresh fresh stuff on it. We didn't put that on there too tight so we can, or did I? This impact has a ton of power. You got to be very careful with it. With great power comes great responsibility. I always start them by hand first. Look at that. These even have the torque on them, 90 to 95 foot-pounds, right on the head. You know, why'd they quit doing stuff like that? That just makes a lot of sense to have that right there for the average Joe that don't do this every day. You go and having to look it up. That's actually pretty nice little quality of this thing. Everything about this thing just keeps impressing me. I know these trailers are not the prettiest trailers, I've said it before, but by golly, they pull so good. And they just, and it's got a lot of this chassis here is aluminum, which is not going to rust on you. Now, maybe in a saltwater climate, maybe not so good, but for here, it's perfect. All right, now we're just getting these thick enough to hold everything in place so I can properly torque it. That's the one thing I might still do before I do the wheel bearings is drag it down the road again. You just never know. All right. Woo! Brand new rubber dubber. All right. Do I dare pop this back on? Of course I do. Why not? Let's see how it looks spinning. She spins true. I wonder if a fella could take some. I'm pretty sure these are chrome underneath here. Almost guarantee it. Oh, I got to get after some of that. I'm going to get some 4/0 steel wool and maybe some paint remover and strip that off of there and expose that chrome and put that back on. It'll be fancier than Applebee's on a date night for sure. All right, let's drop her to the ground. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Look at there. It's a trailer tire. In the trailer again. Yeah. Okay, folks, let's start the timer. No funny camera tricks here. Where's my flock? Stopwatch. 0, 0, 0, start. Here we go. Now all I've done so far is I got the jack in position. And we're going to start picking it up. Hey, just rolling. Let's pop off this beauty. Oh, a holy baby moon. That's what here's what they used to do in the day, though. Baby moons with holes in them. So you can run your bearing buddies if you so desired. Now, I'm not trying to go fast to beat a time, but I am, slow as, but slow as something and something is fast. I can't remember what it was. Let's just say we'll only do it once. Tire removed. All right. Now this tire, I got to show you some stuff on here when we get it inside. Does it have a date code on it? And this thing is weather checked. This one's made in Korea. It's the 791 Touring AS. The bad part about this one, you guys may or may not know, is this is a car tire. This isn't a trailer tire. You shouldn't run car tires on your trailers. I'm just saying it out loud. Those of you that want to disagree with me, hey, go for it. I don't care if you disagree. That's a Touring AS, tubeless radial. Yeah, okay, so here's the date code on this one. 2010. So that was the 20th month of 2010. Why is that so hard to say? So this one here, obviously, is 20 or 13 years old and definitely needs to be replaced. And you can also see that this tread, oh, how did it not come apart? Oh boy, look at this. That tread's separating right there. And whoops, it's starting to come apart all the way around. No wonder the other one just blew up sitting there under pressure. It just finally rotted itself weak enough that she popped. I honestly was scared to roll this back to the shop with all the air in it. I'd almost like to let that out, but she pops. At least I got my earbuds in so that I can block some of the sound. It just won't protect me from any of the shrapnel. That would also give you some indication that the valve stem that are in these tires, probably 13 years old too. we're going to go ahead and pull the old. I didn't have to do this on the other one because it had the, it was flat already. Yeah. Oh, nice cool air. Yeah, baby, yeah. These didn't blow up on me. Ah, smell that? That 2010 air. It's less polluted in 2010. Wow. Don't fight me like this. This one should break the bead, baby. Sometimes you just go slower and let it just sit there and eat the pressure for a little bit, and then she'll pop right free. I've had one set though that's already fought me. I didn't like the rims anyway, so I got rid of the rim and tire together. Oh, come on. You can do this, dude. You're better than this. There we go. Hit. Hit. Yeah, I tried to go too fast again on this one. This was the same kind of stuff. So I'm just going to take it easy and hold it and let the rubber kind of catch up with things. Maybe that'll help. I can tell I'm getting a little further that time. There we go. No. Oh, it's almost there though. There. Got a little deeper bite that time. There we go. He's free. Now, as you guys already know, I've been soaking these down because it does help them slip off of there easier. Because I don't have the big, powerful hydraulic or air actuated pieces of equipment. Oh. Now we're going to pop this back off of here. One extra step, you know. Because I want to make it easy on myself to clean that rim off. Now those tires are machines that spin them for you. Kind of nice. But I think this is a worthwhile step, in my opinion. We just give these a little scrubby dub dub. Now, that technique I use for the outside bead can also be used for the inside bead, is what I'm told. But this goes pretty quick too.
Well, then you don't have to fight it too terrible much to make this happen. But I think my preferred method on the inside bead is just to do this number right here. Guessing there's a handful of you that would disagree, but that's pretty quick, right? Now let's see if I can learn, if I learned anything at all. Okay, we're all set up. Let's just see. I got the tire on backwards. It don't matter. These don't have a rotation direction. It's one of my pet peeves. Not a big deal. Get it back on there. Clock's ticking, Bennard. All right, here we go. Here we don't go. Honestly, I think I can do this. Slips right off of that little thing. It almost needs like a better lip. Almost a little sharper lip wouldn't be all bad for me. Yeah, I keep pushing it over that. Just need to keep going until I get more pressure, I guess. Oh, stay up on top, baby. I just got to get that heel. The heel of my hand start pushing down sooner, I think. And then I'll keep this down. There you go. So I felt it relieve a whole lot there when I got it down inside that inner area. When it's all down in there, yeah, like that, there's a lot less tension on the tire. Oh, why is this one so tight now? Do I not have enough slippery on the inside? I bet. I just about had it. That's okay. This is easy to finish her off like this, I guess. That's done and done. Now, most people don't put the valve stem core back in just so it lets more airflow. If I run into not getting enough airflow to get this thing to bite, I'll pull it back out. But so far, in my vast experience of almost no days, my experience can't even be measured in days yet. It's measured in hours is all. Oh, yeah. Takes a little bit to get up to 55, 60 pounds. $42. Yeah, replacing 13-year-old tire. Sad part is these trailer tires always have a lot of tread left on them. Just for the simple fact they sit more than they roll. except a couple of my trailers. They're on the road about every week doing something. But still, even if I take it a 200-mile trip once a week, that's 2 times 52. It's only like what? That'll work. That's not very many miles. And granted, trailer tires like these aren't designed to do 50, 60, 70,000 miles for their tread. Anyway. I can't be hating on that too much, huh? That was pretty simple. This tool really has saved me a decent amount of time so far. I cannot complain. Well, let's go put it back on and check the time. I haven't even looked at the time yet. All right, here we go. Let me grab a hold of you guys. All right, we're back out here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. What did I sit on? Oh, yep, I did. This bearing buddy doesn't even have the bearing buddy cover on it. It's just covered in the stuff. More never sees, please. If you don't use this never sees, you got to ask yourself why. Why would you want to struggle in the future? In this situation, when you don't have the studs, I put the one up top, and then I can get one of these, rock it back and forth a little bit, get one of these down the bottom started. Yep, started. And then once you snug them up just a touch, it centers the other 3 up just fine. I'm not torqued or anything there, so pretty good breeze blowing across me right now. It'll be a good test for how the wind noise does with these Raycons. Yeah, I can feel it whistling around my ears, but we'll see if it picks up the wind noise or not. If it does, I apologize. Whoa! Oh, there we go. 90, 95. 95, yep. Here we go. Yep. This might seem like not a lot of uggas. From a 3/8 impact, it would be. From this 1/2 inch impact, it's a decent amount. There we go. Look at that. One tire that's not going to blow up in your face. Yay. Just pop these back on for now. Till I get a chance to polish them up. All right, done. Back on the ground, baby. Brand new skins. This one says 2023 as well. 23. So what's the timer say? 25 minutes and 30 seconds. That's not bad start to finish. You know what I mean? So, and I'll improve on that over time. Now, as you saw, most of the time wasn't spent wrestling the tire. The tire went pretty well. So, what do we call this in the books, folks? Project 2 for the day, done. I can actually move this around my yard again because I got full tires on this thing. Now, would I drag it down the road yet? Not with those wheel bearings so much. We'll definitely have to pay attention to those in the future. But we got a little ways to go, and we haven't even started working on this boat yet. So, other than I have cleaned up the inside quite a bit and discovered the floors are in good shape. So, let's put some tools away. Now, some of you must be asking yourself, how do you know when you're done with one job and ready to go to the next one? Well, typically, I don't know because I jump around so much. But today's all about focus. Let's get one job done and move on to the next. And how do we know the one job's done? The workbench is cleaned off, ready for the next project, ready for me to pile the tools again. And I've got a workspace if I need it. Bada boom, bada bing. Gosh, that thing was nasty. I was about ready to eat dinner off of that. Yeah, now this is not leftover mess. This is actually a job that we're going to try to get started and maybe even finish today if I have some good luck. But I've got one more bench to build. I think that's what's going to be our next job. So, project number 2 is a piece of project number 1, leftovers. So I've been wanting to. Sure would be nice to have a nice outdoor bench, as it were. Oop, yeah, here we go. And I think this would make a really good bench. Now, some of you may not like swivel casters or the 4-wheel swivel casters. Me personally, I love having swivels on all 4 wheels. And I'm going to tell you why. And maybe some of you agree and some of you disagree. Well, I'm not shopping at a grocery store or a large big box store. So driving it around like a car is fine in those instances. But here, I like to be able to spin things around in a circle. So if I wanted this be, like this, I can do that. You can't do that with a something that has 2 rigid casters and 2 non-rigid casters. So that's why I like having 4 swivels whenever possible. All right, we've knocked the dirt off of this guy. And we got to make some adjustments because I had one side higher than the other to hold that engine, which I don't do on the regular stands that I built. So now that it's cleaned off, let's go gather up that top that I'm going to put on here. All right, so one of many projects that we've been working on. Now, the video started off with going to do multiple projects in one day. Well, I ran out of time and other projects came up, but just wanted to give you a quick walk around on this was the bottom of that engine stand that I've added a stainless tabletop to that I had stored out there in my lean-to. And this used to be a conveyor belt table, believe it or not. A conveyor belt ran on this thing. It had pulleys on the end and the belt ran around, but it's stainless steel. It's on my 4-wheel swivel casters. I've had some laminate that I used to have stored over there, leaning up for years now, and cut it up and made me some nice, heavy, thick shelves. I think it turned out pretty good. I've already done a couple jobs on it. Installed some wheel bearings on it. It's nice. It cleans up well. So this would be a nice portable workbench. Whereas over here, as you can see, my weld bench has already started to gather some things that we need to work on, but including a weld job. But we're going to do that in a whole nother video, and stay tuned for that. Down here, I've already started taking advantage of some of the shelf space to put some temporary stuff. That's another project. You guys can watch the rehabbing of, let me show you what it is. It'll be coming on this channel as well. I found a DeWalt planer that I picked up for $100. And we've already torn that apart, started putting things back together, cleaned some things up, got some parts ordered, but that'll be its own video by itself. So that was another project we did this past weekend so far. Down here, this is some more material. We're going to be building some fuel cells for a boat in a future video. That's why I have a TIG welder. We'll get into more of that down the road. But so let's get busy doing some, well, let's reassemble this. I took this apart the other day because I needed it. Not on there it is, my bandsaw. There it is, the Hercules. You know, you can stand it up, use it as a table saw, lay it down, use it as a cutoff saw. It works really well. let's put that back together real quick. And you can watch that for a minute if you want to. Or you can hit your right arrow key and just mosey on along down through the video. It's your choice. I don't want to be accused of wasting anybody's time. But if you haven't seen this Joker yet, or you missed the video, actually well worth it. I've strategically placed a fan behind us here, so when I blow the dust off of this, it goes on out into the yard. Now let's get the old saw up here. Now the end game here is to buy another saw. This one works so well. I want another one. The main reason is taking this on and off. Let's just call it a pain in the butt. Need to take the blade guard back off. I remember how this went now. It's only been a couple days. Should be able to figure it out, huh? There it is, back together. Looks like it's lined up pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, perfect. All right. Well, we'll put this guy away. Now you can see, if you watch me put it back together here just now, you can see this isn't what I'd call a quick on and off attachment. It's really just converting the tool into something else. So I got to get a couple more of these screws, because when this thing stands completely upright, I've got a table that goes on it for using it like a bandsaw. But I also noticed that just putting this back on it by itself actually didn't do too bad for doing some small work. But you got a bigger table. Where'd it go? It's over here. So we got a bigger table that goes with it. We'll just kind of stick that somewhere. I don't know where. I'm going to drop it on my toe. That's what I'll do. All righty. What's next? What is next? Well, I think I need to get this table out of my way a little bit. Bring my weld tape. Let's just pause and do a little cleaning up, and I'll be right back with you, I promise.
Only because it's 0 dark 30 outside, and I don't have enough light out there to put trailer lights on my trailer. I bought one of these. Central Pneumatic. 50-foot retractable air hose reel. Spring-powered auto rewind with easy activation. Mounts to the floor, wall, or ceiling, or walls. Ceiling, floor, walls. But you gotta find a spot to put it now. I've been wanting one of these for, let's just say, ever since I've been, working in shops. They're just handy. Keeps it up off the floor. Right now, my hose is way back in the corner where the air compressor's at. You guys see that over there? Right there. So, I think I want to put it, how do you mount it? How do you hook it up? This is the outlet. Where's the inlet? Don't make me pull out the constructions. Oh, I bet it's right here. What's this do? Voila! So we need a connector in there. Do I have any? Well, as good luck would have it, I got a connector. So I can just hook my hose right onto there. Yep. We'll put a little thread tapage on it, right? There we go. I'm gonna hook it up before I hang it up to make sure there's no leakage, so if it is leaking, back to where it came from. Go over yonder. What are you doing way over there? Get your butts over here. All right, we're over here in this area now. Well, the compressor, this hose that I've had for, it's a Goodyear hose. It's held up really well. I mean, this thing isn't even cracking or doing anything yet. I'll guarantee you this hose will not last near as long as my Goodyear hose. Do not use above 250 psi. Oops, I need a coupler over here, I'll bet, right? We got a whistler. Well, as luck would have it, I have a brass female coupler here. This has some red thread stuff on it. I trust it completely. And that red thread stuff is perfect. It's I think the same red stuff they put in bottle rockets. Very trustworthy stuff. That's why I wouldn't dare try to put anything else on it. That would be a sacrilege, I think, if I did that. So we're going to keep this one completely 110% tape free. Ignore the white stuff I'm putting on here. It's not tape. Oh, yeah. Do I have a stud near there? Man, I really could use a stud right there. Yep. I think there'd be one right there where the winder thing is. Can't put it in front of America. If I put it there, that's going to be, I don't know. Do I just go I'll just go to the ceiling right here. If I just go to the ceiling right here would be a good spot, I think. Yeah. If we go to the ceiling right there, I can go 50 foot that way. Yeah, I think that's just what we're going to do. What size is that? If you guys guessed 5/8, you would be just as wrong as I am. And if you guessed 11/16, you'd be right. You'd be right. Let's get this snugged up. £500 gorilla strength right there. Now when we plug it in, we'll hear any she tight. Baby, you're a poor boy. What? Compressor wanted to be in the show, apparently. Now I got rafter joists that are pretty far apart here. They're like 18 inches maybe 2 feet on this situation. I got 4 holes I'd like to really anchor this thing down with. And I want to point it and angle it at that direction because that's the direction it's going to be used most generally. I wonder if I have a 2x... Oh, I know what I can use. Did you ever wonder if some of the silly things you do come together? This would be a 2x something. 2x this wide. And... Yep, perfect width for this. It's also not a complete 2x anymore. Why? Because of the video you've already seen, this is the piece of wood I ran through my planer, just seeing if it would work. And it did. So then I stuck it back in my container that says wood blocks. And I just thought about it. I can get that anchored right there like that. Then I can take some wood screws, some heavy duty lags through here, pre-drill some holes, and go right into a rafter joist. Yep. And that would give me some good support. Yeah. Because I can use all 4 of these holes. And then I can mount this thing up here at a slight angle and catch stud here, stud here, and maintain my anglage. That's what's gonna happen. Let's go ahead and pop some holes in here because we're just gonna use some bolts. It's a good eyeball job. Put a little pressure on top. How many of you guys use ballpoint pens to mark all your wood stuff? I've been using these things, the Pilot G2s, for marking wood for a long time. Look at there. Perfect. Now I'll need some drillage. Some drillage in the village. I think these carriage bolts ought to work. So I come down through the wood. Probably should use some bigger ones, but I think that'll work. We can always go bigger. Get on the ground, wrenches. All right. So now if I have that like that, that will work-ish. Like that. Now I want to develop a line, so I'm hitting steady studs. Got all these workbenches, and I'm working off of this little stand over here. Silly rabbit. Then what I'll do is I'll use a couple of 3-inch long deck screws. Yep. That'll hold it temporarily while I put a couple of good lag screws in it. We'll put these near the corners since they're small, and we'll pre-drill them so we don't split it out. Yep. Now I'm using the carriage in this direction because it'll bury into the wood. It won't interfere with my sealing portion of the mounting process. Yep. Now, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like it. And share. Where is the hole? Go to your hole bolt. Boy, I crowded that a little bit too tight, one might say. Well, that's 3 out of 4. If 3 wouldn't hold it, 4 never would. That's what I always hear him say on Puddin's Fab Shop. I don't know if you guys watch Puddin's Fab Shop, but he's fun to watch. I find out that a lot of my viewers watch a lot of the same stuff I watch. Well, while we're waiting for this Yahoo to get the nuts tight, let's talk about the sound quality on this video. So I'm doing the GoPro Hero 12. I've done some videos with just the GoPro mic, and I've done some videos with the Raycon earbuds. And now we're back to the regular Comica microphone. What do you guys think of the Comica mic? I think it's the best of all worlds, because some of you had said, and I read the comments, some of you had said, I like it when I can hear other things going on in the shop because it feels like we're there. I like that. I like that comment a lot. some of you commented that you liked the Raycons because it was really quiet and they could understand what I'm saying. I can dig on that too. But the Comica mic, I think, is the best of both worlds because you get to hear some background noise. You get to hear me more clearly, or clearer, than just the GoPro mic itself. So that's what we're going with on this video. And I don't mind using the Comica mic, especially when you go outside. It has this fuzzy thing you can put on here called a dead cat. It helps silence the wind. Because if you follow my other channel at all, and the last video I had it was just the GoPro only for the whole video, and it was part 5 of the boat trailer build. I had what has gotten on me? I had a little bit of breeze, wasn't much, and I couldn't even tell it was breezy out at all. It was that calm, but it still picked up a little bit of that noise. So, thank you guys for the feedback. Don't be afraid to leave me some more feedback on this particular mic and how you think it's doing in comparison to some other videos. There again, I want you guys to have the best experience that I can give you watching the, sound quality wise without me breaking the bank trying to do it. Oh, we're so close now. Think I am going to get my step ladder though, because trying to lift this, stand on a bucket, pat my head, rub my belly. It's just probably not safe for me. Be honest with you, 4 of these wood screws are probably all I need to hold this thing in place. All right, ladder time. Drill a hole right through my brand new hose. Wouldn't that be something? Ow! Ow! That screw's sticking up just enough. Dang it. Okay. Let's get you pointed upwards so you can see what I'm doing here. Yep, that ought to do it. It's actually pretty heavy little apparatus here. Make your boy grunt a bit. And we do like that, like that. Boy, I don't know if I can do it by myself. So I'm gonna try. Let's go up one more rung or do here. Whoa, easy. Balance is everything. Oh, I should have been wearing my New Balance shoes. Oh, I just cinched her right up there. It did. Boy, that's pretty solid with just 2 screws. Whammo in the back of the head. Oh, baby. Need some air? Well, it would certainly help if you plug the darn thing in. I'll be. Okay, here we go.
Contact. I might have to put some strain relief on that, maybe. Sorry, you guys couldn't see that, but I had to hook the air up. Let's see what we got here. Baby, you a poor boy. I don't know. All right. So far, so good, Lear. Voila! That actually needs a couple more screws. What do you guys think? You think my swivel? I don't have any swivel impact, but we do for the moment. Right up to the point that it flies apart. What? I got two different size ones here. Let's go after this one. I dropped my washer. I drop everything. Ooh. Ooh. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Whoa, whippy snippy. Well, that tamed her down a bit. Oh, I saw that suck that sucker right up in there. That should do it. I like that. We'll have to get me a shorter hose and route it over there behind the compressor and around. And then I'll get then I'll have this hose as an additional 50-foot-ish or so that I could, yeah. Well, that wasn't that bad, was it? But I am gonna like having this just ready to rock and roll anytime. Because I'm always uncoiling it. I leave it on the floor because it's a pain in the butt to wrap it back up while I'm still doing some other stuff before I need it again. This way here, I'd be more prone to hanging it up. It's gonna stay cleaner, and I'm not gonna walk on it near as much as what accidentally happens. Because I'm one that doesn't walk on my cables or cords and stuff. But when they're strewn all over, sometimes you just step on them. Well, now we'll wait for sunshine and we'll go out there and put some new lights on my trailer. I backed into some stuff. Whoops. Your boy Howdy here backed into some stuff and just let's say we broke one pretty good. And I didn't realize it was an incandescent, so we're going to replace that with an LED. Lucy, you being a good girl? You going to hang out with me? Looks like Lucy's going to hang out here for the next project. Now this project is a small project, but all projects are projects. And there again, we're into the first hour of my hour a day, which will probably turn into 2 hours. And I'll get all that done before supper time. Now, here's my utility trailer. Built this a while back. Is it overkill? Absolutely. Has it worked its butt off? Oh, for sure. Have I abused it? Now and then, yes. But I also built it to be able to do that. This is a converted boat trailer. That's why the axle's a little further back. Plus I added on this little beaver tail to help aid in loading lawnmowers and whatnot. But this segment is about the trailer. It's about the accessories. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I could have put a lot bigger toolbox on here. I think what that means is I could have stored a lot more crap on here. But I'm going to show you what I keep in my utility box, and it may help some of you, may not help any of you. But I think it's worth mentioning that I have it and the why I have it.
Maybe you'll learn something, maybe you won't, but you'll know what's going on inside here. This is a dangerous place to be, for sure. All right, let me get the stand out here, or maybe will this work? Yep, yo. All right, here's my stuff I keep in my, I've got a couple of heavy duty 2-inch strap-and-O straps, which have the auto, whoops. Why is that so tight? Oh, there we go. Just had to get that straightened out a little bit. These are 20-foot long, self-retracting 2-inch straps. I have a pair of these. I'll leave a link in the description below for these things. They're definitely handy. They're heavy duty and all that stuff. Now, what I've got here in this container, I bought 4 more. Let's just throw them right here. Of these are the heavier duty ratchet, let's call it, from Strap-and-O, which self-retracting. I bragged about these before. I just bought 4 more. I'll leave a link to those in the description as well. But these, when you talk in time it takes to strap down your load and deal with loose ends, this is the way to go. Why? Because this has no loose ends. These are 10-foot by 1-inch straps. So anyway, I got 4 of those. Wow, they even come with a carrying case. Yep, don't need that. This is my carrying case. And I only had 1 break so far after a 1.5 years of use. And the spring inside here actually gave out. It was fatigued enough that I couldn't rebend it and reuse it. But I kept it for the simple reason straps get cut all the time if you're not careful. I'm pretty careful. My straps seem to last a long time without getting a lot of, let's just call, severe cuts. Now, these are your old straps that you wind up, right? I'm taking these out. That's why I bought these 4, because here's some of my older ones that still work just fine. Been using them for over a year, and trust me, I go to these a lot. The other thing I find handy that I keep in here is these. This came with my heavy duty straps. Is these sleeve covered things that you can go around a trailer axle, a car axle, and pull onto it, or any other things. I put these around a tree before, and they're just a nice to have, something that can take the abuse that your strap doesn't need to take the abuse for. Now, I do have a couple of these heavy duty ones, the medium duty, I call them the 1.5-inch straps. I'm thinking I may not need those. Here's another old 2-inch strap that's coming out of here. I very rarely use that. I very rarely use this one. And yeah, we're just gonna, here's another shackle in here from something else. This will stay in here. I always keep a couple of pieces of rubber in here. It's a good thing to do, because if you got some sharp things or semi-sharp things that can wreck your strap, I always keep this in here to protect my straps. Other people borrow my trailer, and they know my expectations of how I expect them to treat my stuff, and I provide them the tools to do it. So I've got way more in here than I need. There's no reason to I had this thing plumb full, and it was getting a little too crowded. I've got all these straps that I have to wind up by hand. See you later, straps wind up by hand. Not gonna have you anymore. I'm done with you. You'll be on the injured reserve list. You're getting benched. Game over, boys. So now what I'm gonna have in here is my big ones. The nice thing is you don't have to roll these up. They're already done, right? You don't get to be a tangled up mess. We'll just, there's that one. Come back here. So we got two big ones, two of the big boy toys. And we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got 2 in my other trailer that should be in here. Let me go check. Number 7, number 8, 4 pieces of rubber, 3 auxiliary strap arounders. That's all you need in here. There's nothing else. Nope. Now it's not as full. It's going to be nicer to work with. And it's a watertight container. It's just a Stanley toolbox I bolted down on here. All these other straps will end up in a tote in the shop. And it could be the loaner pile. I don't know. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. If I can't get this done in this 6x9 trailer, 5x9 trailer, if I can't get things tied down with, let's call it 10 straps, then I'm hauling some weird crap, and I probably should be using a covered trailer. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I just took this pile down by a lot. What's in the box? By a lot. Here's what's going into the container to be used elsewhere. Could be to hold, could be for anything. All right. How many projects are we up to in this video? If you've hung out this long, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you learned anything, leave a comment as to what you learned. If there's something else you could see that I'm doing that I could do better, leave a comment. All right. Let me show you my trailer. Next project. We're gonna knock this one out before supper time. Well, I was backing this up the other day, and you guys, if you follow me on both channels, you saw I had an engine hoist strapped down to the back of this, and I was backing up and I clipped my light. And I didn't realize it was an incandescent. And I was tempted to buy one tail light because I only broke one tail light. But I'm glad I bought the kit now for multiple reasons. First reason, it was incandescent. Second reason is it was incandescent. Boy, I sure didn't make it sound like there was 2 reasons. Okay, there is. The other reason is, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I go to one of my places. Let's call them Hobo Freight. I'll start calling them the other name if they sponsor me, but until then, they're Hobo Freight. Bad part is they're still getting the same notifications. So, I bought this kit. Trailer light kit. Rust corrosion resistant. Includes mounting hardware. Fits most utility, snowmobile, camping, and motorcycle trailers. Does not say anything about getting under the water, which is fine. This is a utility trailer. It doesn't get back into the water. The only thing I do different is I look for submersible when they're on a boat trailer. Now, here's the crazy part. You could buy one light, one LED light for $16.99. 17 bucks. That's $34. For $5 more, that's $34 for 2. For $5 more, you're getting all this wiring, a license plate frame, and 2 other marker lights that I might use somewhere down the road. I don't need them. This one already has marker lights, and they're already LED because it was left over from another kit similar to this, would be my guess. So spend the extra $5, replace both lights, especially if they're incandescent. It was time. I think when I built this trailer several years ago, converted it, it must have had good tail lights on it, and I just went ahead and used the ones that were there. And they've been working ever since until you pull a bonehead move and back into something. The cool part is because of my bracket here, as you can see, there is nothing light duty about my tail light bracket, because it's easily used as a, I can put all my weight on it. It doesn't even hardly give at all. It's not going to break. It's not going to bend. It's not going to do anything. Period. So don't be afraid to build those sturdy. Because I'm afraid if I'd had something light duty, I'd have been replacing more than just the tail light. But anyway, we're going to get busy cutting, soldering, and putting those on and make her all whole again. That'll be our project. I'm going to walk you guys through what I do. Some of you already know exactly what to do here, and some of you don't. So those that do, see if I do it right. Those of you that don't, pay attention. All right, something I wanted to tell you about this segment here of the video with the straps and this is I am using the Comica mic again. I noticed when I was editing last night from the stuff I did in the shop is that where did all this black come from? When I was in the shop, I noticed that without this dead cat on it, that when I rustle around and this would rustle around on my shirt, it gave the effect of being out in the wind. It had that kind of buffeting sound. But right now you can hear the wind chimes blowing. We got a nice breeze going. You're probably not going to hear any wind noise at all, and you won't hear any shuffling or my shirt noise on it as well. It's going to be much better. So you guys tell me if I'm all wet behind the ears. So far, if you've been following me for a minute, and I know who you are because I recognize the names in the comments, the Johns and the Dirty Buzzards and the Badger Bobs and the rest of you know who you are. I recognize the names, and that's why I leave, I appreciate your comments on all those. Everybody leaves comments. I try to respond to as many of them as I can. At least at the very least, thanks for watching. But give me some more feedback. So far, we did the Raycons. We did the GoPro mic by itself. We did this mic without the dead cat, and now what I'm doing here is with the dead cat on it, which this little fuzzy thing, they call it a dead cat, kills all the buffeting sounds, filters the sound, cleans it up as it goes into the mic. And tell me what you think. So far, I'm thinking this is my best option. Not always is it convenient because I tend to lean against stuff and talk, and sometimes it gets muffled. Even if I just put my hands like this, it makes a difference because the sound's not going directly in. I could put it clear up here by my collar, but this is I'm used to it being here, so this is where it'll land. And every now and then I might go to the earbuds depending on what I'm doing. Now that I know that they work good, they work pretty good. I'd call this my first choice. This without this this setup the first choice. Earbuds second choice. This without this dead cat on it third choice, and so on. And then the GoPro mic, it does do a good job. Now out here with the wind blowing, you'd be hearing a blah, 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 and it'd be all kinds. I am very critical on when I watch other people's videos and I hear nothing but wind sound and them talking. It just adds so much more trash noise to the video. But I'll suffer through for those folks because I like following them. All right, let's get this, a little bit of this. We're gonna see if we can get you right down here to see what I'm doing. First things first, we gotta open up the package and just look at things. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now these plastic license plates are fine, most generally for trailers like this. That's what's on it, I believe. But look at all this wiring I got. Yep. Marker lights, cool. Not going on this trailer, but because I've already got some on it. These Scotch locks and wire nuts. Put them in the garbage. Do not wire things up with those. They corrode. They don't last. Crimp and solder. Now, thing you want to look for on these tail lights, and where I live and do my thing, this is usually the left side. And you can tell it's the left side because what it says here, stop. Turn is green, tail is brown, ground is white. Stop, turn, yellow. tail is brown, ground is white. And here we're gonna go. Don't take my man card because I'm going to show you this, but they usually have a wiring diagram in here somewheres. And what it's going to show you, looking at the top of the trailers, is this coming back around here. Left tail light, license plate in bracket. Where's the color? Show me the color. Right tail. Huh. Yeah, so here they're showing this. That's the way I do all my trailers. License plates on the left hand side of the road, not the right hand side of the road. And you always look for that window for the light to light up the license plate. So this is always on the left, which is your yellow, and green is right turn signal. Brown, ground. Got it? All right. Comes with some hardware. Pretty simple things to do here. Now, if you're in the habit of breaking your tail lights on a regular basis, sure, use those Scotch locks because if you're breaking your tail lights off every 6 months, it doesn't matter what kind of connection you got, you're breaking your tail lights. But if you're like me and you don't break your tail lights, but every 4 to 5 years, or never at all, crimp and solder. Or at the very least, like I'm going to do here, I'm not even going to crimp. I'm going to twist the wires together in line, put a heat shrink tubing on it, and solder it, then heat shrink it. It's gonna last forever. All right, getting after it. Get you a power cord. Wrench of your choice. Heat shrink tubing. Heat gun. Soldering gun. Strippers. Solder. And a comfortable thing to sit on. Yep. Okay, here's our wires. Not a lot of extra wire to play with. Cutting it off as close as I can. I don't know if I like these strippers at all, but I got them. Since this is a soldered connection, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna leave myself as much wire as possible. Yep, I'm crazy like that. Now, this one doesn't have a ground. It grounds to the actual frame itself. That's what I do anyway. And I just put this on the lug, the accessible side, so I'll run it around the back side. Let's see, is this gonna line up? You betcha it is. We're just gonna put one nut on here for now so I can access these two. The nice thing is these are look like they're 10 coated wires. Perfect. Minimize the corrosion. A little stripping action. Just like all your other trailer wires, that's all copper. Depending on your locale and what kind of, let's just say, salt type stuff you have near you, as to whether or not these things will turn green or not and cause you problems. So we're going to slide our heat shrink tube on. Green to green. Now I like to twist these together lengthwise like this. I hope you guys can see this okay. It's going to be kind of hard to get up close enough while I'm doing it, because my big old hands take up too much of the real estate here. But just like that, I'll twist them together so they're in line like that, and then we'll solder. Stop it. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched that show called That 70s Show with old Red Foreman and Casey Kelso on there, and they had the game called Pong. And you know how you had the little paddle on each side, and you basically played back and forth with a little dot floating across the screen. And this, every time I get my soldering gun out, this always reminds me of that show. When they were soldering, they were inside the little Atari, and they were soldering, and old Red goes, "This is the future." And old Michael Kelso goes, "What? Electronic computers in every home?" Red goes, "No, soldering." That was funny. Makes me smirk every time I think of it. Now, if you wanted to use the Scotch locks, we'd be done already. And we'd do it again and again and again. So eventually, until we lose our mind. There we go. Now we'll go back to the first one and slide our insulation over it. Dun, dun, dun. Go to the second one. Yep, cooled off enough. Slide the insulation over it. Now I got these, I'm not sure where I got these offline. Hey, here's a surprise for you. Made in China, but one thing you can look for, it says dual wall adhesive heat shrink tubing. And what that's going to do for you is it puts that, there's some gluey, I'd call it glue type stuff on the inside the heat shrink. I drop every washer and it rolls forever. And it helps seal that connection off from moisture. You want that. That's a must-have, right? Oh, it rolled clear under around. Got it. Now we'll plug in the Heat Shrinker 2000 here. When I ask Michael, when you know you're done heat shrinking? When I see that stuff ooze out the end. Because that adhesive, you know, it's a lot of strength in there. And we'll just tuck our wires back underneath the trailer here. Rock and roll. Now I'm going to go get the vehicle and hook up to it. Make sure it works. Oh yeah. There you have it, folks. Tail light works as it should. We're back on the road again. I actually decided this is going to sound weird, and it's not because I'm lazy. But yeah, one's going to be incandescent, one's going to be LED. Let's get the rest of the life out of that incandescent one. It works just fine. And I'll replace it later. So what if going down the road it looks a little different at night? that's going to catch somebody's eye. It's like, what's going on there? And they're going to study it and look at it. Which is exactly what I want them to do. That way they don't run into it. All right. Task complete. Well, folks, I'm going to wrap this video up. It's a long one. I didn't start out with it being a long one, wanting to be a long one, but it's kind of what it turned into. Appreciate you hanging out to the end. If you did, thank you so very much. It's very much appreciated. Some of the longer videos, when you look at them, you see what time they are. Sometimes I'll get a long video, and let me get that reclamped. I'll see a long video of one of my favorites, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna make me a sandwich or maybe a whole meal. I'm gonna sit here and watch the show. You know, hour and a half show. I'm gonna watch the show. I'm gonna enjoy the entertainment. Might even learn something. Well, folks, we're never short of projects around here in my backyard or on the marina. We've always got stuff to do. Cash can slow things down a little bit, but that's okay. We'll do it as we get it. That's right. That's what we'll do. Wait a minute. I'm curious how this is going to sound. So ever since I started walking in here, I had the mic on the camera. We'll put it back here. Let's just call this a long sound test. More or less. All right, this is Michael. Saying if it ain't broke, fix it till it is, and we'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe and be kind to one another. And enjoy life. Enjoy it. Nobody knows how many days you have on this great big marble. Enjoy every bit of it as much as you can. We'll see you later. I am out. What was I going to do next? Oh yeah, I'm going to use the trailer to go get a big limb that fell down in my front yard and take it to the back burn pile. Yep, while it's hooked up to the Jeep, let's do it. I'm out.